episode of Travelogue, we'll immerse ourselves in historic XI'AN, the ancient capital of China. We'll show you China's other Great Wall, introduce you to some sublime food, and discover some surprising gems in the city's colourful Muslim quarter, and much more. This was the most cosmopolitan and richest city on earth. This was where people from different races and religions mixed, making this a cultural melting pot, and also an economic and political powerhouse. This is XI'AN. I'm James Lamb. Welcome to Travelogue. The city wall is a striking reminder of XI'AN's glorious past. Its rich history is celebrated every morning at the South Gate with a traditional military parade and drum performance. XI'AN is the eastern starting point of the famed Silk Road. It was the capital of China during several dynasties, including the golden age of the Tang dynasty from the early 7th century to the 10th century. Various walls have been constructed during XI'AN's long history. Work on the heavily fortified wall and deep, wide moat you see today was started in 1370 during the Ming dynasty. It was also in the Ming dynasty that the city's name was changed from Chang'an, meaning perpetual peace, to XI'AN, meaning western peace. A lot of Chinese cities used to have city walls like this, but in XI'AN this is especially unique because it's one of the best preserved in China. And this used to be a really important military defense system, and archers would have been stationed up there, ready to shoot down enemy forces. And it would have been really difficult to penetrate this city. Now, this city wall has become a top tourist attraction. Where are you from?
Sweden.
Sweden. What do you think of the wall?
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. But we've been here a couple of times before on the wall.
And you're back again. How come?
Yes.
You like it so much?
Yeah. And some visitors. We live in XI'AN.
It's my first time.
Oh, okay. You're
It's
the visitor.
very nice.
You're taking your good friend here.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Ni hao.
For a uniquely memorable experience, you should take a bike ride around the 13.7 kilometre circumference wall. The rental fee is about 40 RMB per 1.5 hours per bicycle. In summer, make sure you bring plenty of sunscreen as there's little shade cover on the wall. It's only when you get up on this wall that you can really appreciate its scale and size. Although it's almost 600 years old, it's still as solid and as strong as it was back then. Look at its size. You can probably fit 4 lanes of traffic on this. And there's no traffic jam at all. It's like an ancient superhighway. Beats Beijing traffic any day. Time to hop on my limo.
Where are you from? United States. Yeah. Hey.
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Great.
Are you going to start with the whole wall?
Yes, we are. We're going to go the whole way around.
Right. How much more have we got to go?
3/4. We just picked it up at the South Gate.
Good workout.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
A stone's throw away from the wall is a quaint hostel where you can come for a quiet drink or even stay for a few nights. The wall was pretty impressive, huh? I definitely think it's worth your while to stay in XI'AN for a few days, to take in all of the sights. And this is one of 2 great places that I'm going to recommend that you stay in. It's called the Seven Sages Hostel. And it's been dubbed one of the 10 most spectacular hostels in the world by Hosteling International. Now I'm going to show you why it's special. With XI'AN being a mecca for tourists, you'll be spoilt for choice for a place to stay. There are any number of major hotels, but if you want accommodation with a distinctive XI'AN flavour, then you'll be pleased to know there are quite a few establishments that are sure to give you a true taste of XI'AN, like the Seven Sages Hostel. The fantastic thing about this place is its open courtyard, where guests can get together for a yarn. This hostel is situated in a very ancient and well-preserved courtyard. And the layout of this place with its traditional buildings and the plants here really gives this place a homely feel compared to some of the larger hotels. It feels like you're walking in a really ordinary neighborhood. And this is what your home in XI'AN can look like if you come here. Home sweet home. With 2 double beds, this room is a bargain at around 400 RMB per night. Talking about home, I run into a tourist from Australia. Instead of grabbing a beer, it's refreshing Chinese tea this time. It really does feel like at home here. And it's easy to make friends too. I wish I could stay here, but there's another place that I want to show you. I have to go now. See you later, mate. Okay. Let's go. A lot of family-run hotels are hidden in buildings like this. They're really hard to find, and rooms are limited, so you have to book early. Word of mouth has made this warrior's apartment very popular, so it's a good idea to book early. These girls are showing me what they dug up in the sandpit.
So I tested all the heads, and then I figured out that head goes with that, so I put that head on.
Oh,
it was really heavy.
This head was in the sand as well. Oh.
It was really heavy to put on.
So this is the warrior apartment. As you can see, it's fully decked out in terracotta warrior stuff. Lots of souvenirs and even weapons. These guys are staying here, so they're just showing me around. What's your name?
Paige, I'm Paige, and she's Avery.
Oh, where are you from?
Phoenix.
Okay. So you're having a good time here? Yeah.
And then you have all of these wonderful soldiers overlooking.
It's quite unreal.
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
None. Like, what did you say, Paige, when we arrived?
What did you say?
It's like, this is the most amazing, wonderful place we've ever stayed at in our life. The least exciting. But I love it that there's...
The bed.
Yeah. Yep. But I love it how one's facing the other direction. It's like his head's turned the other way, the other two.
So basically, you don't even need to go to the terracotta warriors.
I don't know about that. I've heard it's amazing, and we go tomorrow. Yeah. But today, arriving, our first thing coming into this apartment, absolutely stunning.
Besides being famous for its terracotta warriors, XI'AN is also renowned for its gastronomic delights. Okay, I'm right in the center of XI'AN. To my right here is the drum tower, and then to the left, that's the bell tower. And in between are 2 really famous XI'AN restaurants. This one, Tong Sheng Xiang, it specializes in mutton soup with shredded pancake. And this one here, De Fa Chang, is really famous for its dumplings. So what are we going to have tonight? Dumplings? Yeah, let's go. Being located in central China, XI'AN's part of a region known for its wheat production and flour consumption. People here like to eat dumplings with skins made of flour. And here, at the old De Fa Chang restaurant, they've raised dumplings to a high art form. They serve dumplings with a variety of succulent fillings, wrapped in skins which have been coloured by bright vegetable juices. I promise you, they not only look beautiful, but they taste sublime too. I'm now at the top of the bell tower in XI'AN. I've just had the most amazingly delicious meal of dumplings. In XI'AN, they've really taken the dumpling, the classic dumpling, and turned it into an art form. I mean, some of the dumplings were so cute that I found it really hard to bring myself to eat them. But I was hungry, so they're here anyway. So with a full stomach and with a long day ahead tomorrow, I'm going to go take a rest. Up next, we'll meet XI'AN's very own whip-cracking cowboys and explore the fascinating and exotic Muslim quarter. We'll step into a mosque with a difference and indulge in some more delectable snacks. Before breakfast, we bump into XI'AN's very own cowboys near the city wall. This is the first time I've seen whip cracking being used as a form of exercise. Who would have thought you'd see this in XI'AN? And it looks like cracking these long, heavy whips have powerful health benefits too.
今天58
哦，看不出来，看不出来。您呢？50岁哦，但是身体看起来很健康。
1个月瘦10斤。
This man tells me that whip cracking is a great form of exercise, and he says it's especially beneficial for elderly people. You'd be surprised to know that he's already 61 years old. Wow! Okay, my turn.
正断反打。
差一点，太丢人了。I don't think I have a talent for this. I'm so uncoordinated. Come try if you dare. Don't be intimidated. They're a friendly bunch and are happy to teach you the ropes. Now that you've worked up an appetite, I suggest you head to the Hui Muslim Quarter for its famous snacks. Islam arrived in China over 1,400 years ago during the Tang Dynasty, brought by Arab and Persian merchants. To this day, there's a large Muslim community in XI'AN, and its Muslim Quarter has become a big tourist hotspot. The Muslim Quarter is filled with street vendors selling delicious regional snacks. The fried pancakes stuffed with beef and lamb will make your mouth water. The atmosphere is very relaxed and casual. My tip is to try what the locals are eating. Join them at their table for a chat while you sample the local fare. Good morning. I'm back at the Hui Muslim Quarter, just right near the drum tower. I find it really hard to stay away from this place because there's loads of stuff to eat. And I'm just grabbing breakfast now. This is very doughy. Not bad. The beauty of the Muslim Quarter is not only in its myriad of delectable food, it's also home to gems like the Great Mosque of XI'AN, tucked behind the drum tower. This mosque is the focal point of one of China's oldest Muslim communities. What makes it so special is it's designed entirely in the Han Chinese architectural style. This mosque has a glorious history of over 1,200 years. When I came, I was expecting to see the classic domes and minaret structures, and it was actually quite surprising to see that most of the buildings are in the Chinese style. And I had to actually look pretty carefully. For example, it was only until when I saw these writings, Arabic writings on the wall, that I realized this was a mosque. Pretty hard to believe, huh? Seeing the Great Mosque with its Han Chinese architectural style has completely dispelled my conception of how a mosque should look. Founded in 742, the Great Mosque is not only the oldest mosque in China, but also one of the oldest in the world. The Great Mosque is the main place of worship for the 60,000 Muslims, mainly ethnic Huis, who live and work in this area. In Mandarin Chinese, mosques are called Qingzhen-si, meaning Temple of Purity and Truth. Do you believe me now? This is definitely a mosque. You can see that the worshippers are now undertaking their afternoon prayers. They come here 5 times a day. Isn't it fascinating how the Muslim faith is in complete harmony with this Chinese building? Really interesting. As you leave the tranquility and spiritual atmosphere of the mosque, you'll be faced again with the busy markets that the Muslim quarter is famous for. This is also a great place to stock up on interesting souvenirs too. At every turn, you'll find some exotic food that will tempt your taste buds. As you continue your walk through, you'll be lured by the irresistible aroma of food being cooked literally on the street.
It smells so good. I love this stuff.
Sesame sugar rice bean paste sweet, flour roast, honey bean paste. 5 years small box.
In the Hui Muslim quarter, apart from the Great Mosque, you should also come here to the Gao family mansion to take in some Chinese culture. Behind the mansion's modest facade is an exquisite Han Chinese courtyard, and if that's not surprising enough, there's also a huge range of fascinating performances on offer too. It's great to see that shadow puppet, a traditional form of entertainment in many parts of Asia prior to the invention of television, is still very much alive here. And how about this little touch to bring the shadow puppet to life? Priceless, huh? The Gao family mansion is about 400 years old. It dates back to the Ming Dynasty. And you can come here to see all sorts of folk performances. We just saw the puppet show just there. To be honest, I didn't expect much from it, but it was quite fun. The puppets were singing, dancing, and even smoking. Now we're waiting to see a musical performance. To be treated to this ancient-style musical performance was indeed a very pleasant surprise. Even though we may not totally understand what they are singing about, quietly listening to the melodious music in this old courtyard is still a magical experience. Being here, taking it all in, you feel like you've been transported back to ancient China. Quite a nice little escape. Even though the sun is setting, the Muslim quarter is more alive than ever. It's literally teeming with people.
Smells so good, a massive leg of lamb.
This is without doubt a food lover's paradise. Always come with a big appetite. And with the plethora of food to choose from, you'll wish you had a bigger stomach. As you can see, this place has really come alive. There's temptations everywhere. Food stalls after food stall always come with an empty stomach. Food and more food. I was here this morning and it looks like the boss has changed and they've also changed what they're selling. It's now like steamed meat or something. I've been here from breakfast to dinner and I haven't been the slightest bit bored because there are so many things to do. And whenever I got a bit peckish, there were a million things that I could have eaten. For those of you out there who are trying to lose weight, stay away from this part of town. I warn you again, stay away if you're trying to lose weight. Maybe one more last go. Up next, we'll see XI'AN's rich Buddhist heritage and visit an indestructible pagoda. We'll take a leisurely afternoon stroll and find inspiration for the Chinese classic, Journey to the West. At the height of its glory in the mid-8th century, XI'AN was the most populous and cosmopolitan city in the world. It was also a major religious centre with Buddhism, Taoism, Islam and Christianity represented. During the Tang Dynasty, the Buddhist community here included monks from India, Korea and Japan. People say that the various temples, along with the tombs and museums, are the top 3 things that define XI'AN. We're here at the Small Wild Goose Pagoda, which is one of 2 important pagodas in XI'AN. The pagoda has a brick frame built around a hollow interior, and its square base and shape reflects the building style of other pagodas from that era. The Small Wild Goose Pagoda is one of the most enduring structures I've ever seen. It was originally built during the Tang Dynasty to house Buddhist scriptures brought back by pilgrims from India. And throughout its history, 1,300 years of history, it is said that there's been a series of major earthquakes, and one was so strong that it actually split the pagoda into half. Imagine a gaping hole in the middle of the pagoda. But luckily, there was a subsequent earthquake which actually closed the gap completely. Now, the pagoda stands here proudly, waiting for you to come and see. The Forest of Stele Museum is situated in an old Confucian temple, and the collection of steles in there would have been like a Tang Dynasty University library. And back in the day, students would have been expected to memorize by heart the classics carved on them, because words and writings were of central importance to the Chinese people. And just right outside the museum is the XI'AN Culture Street. That's where I'm going to spend the rest of my lazy afternoon. Just 20 minutes by foot north from the Small Wild Goose Pagoda is XI'AN, an area famous for the Forest of Stele Museum and its street markets. Historically, this has been the place where scholars gathered, a bit like a university district. Certainly, the academic vibe has rubbed off on the narrow streets, which are filled with stores selling implements for Chinese calligraphy, like brushes, ink and paper. And if you're keen, you can even get your very own personal chop carved to stamp on your work. With a history of over 450 years, XI'AN is lined with Ming and Qing dynasty style buildings, which are occupied by dozens of unique shops. Locals say this is an ideal place to find authentic Chinese arts and crafts. Whether you're here for shopping or just for a walk, you'll love the quaintness of the surroundings. Perfect for a leisurely afternoon stroll. Oh, playing behind this chest. It's pretty funny how everyone watching is getting involved, giving advice. I can't give any advice. I don't know how to play this. I can guarantee you'll love the relaxed atmosphere of this area. The stall holders are super friendly and laid back, so you can browse in peace. You can even try out your musical talent without being too self-conscious. I can't help it but notice that the locals seem to be having as much fun as the tourists. I guess this is the place where everyone is having a good time.
Yeah, wonderful time.
Yeah? Wonderful time. Okay, what do you think of this place? How would you describe it to your friends?
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
It has a really old Chinese feel to it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wonderful. Busy, lots of things.
Had a good experience. Okay, thank you. You'll find that time flies at XI'AN, man. It's like a piece of old China stuck back in time. You know, it has a really old Chinese feel to it. And as for souvenir shopping, you'll find things here that you never knew existed. It's definitely worthwhile wandering around and spending a lazy afternoon with people watching. Having seen the small wild goose pagoda, now I suggest you check out the other important centre of Buddhism in XI'AN. You guessed it, the big wild goose pagoda. In the 7th century, the monk XI'AN went on an epic journey from China to India to collect Buddhist scriptures. XI'AN's trip was immortalized in the Chinese classic Journey to the West. For those of you who watched the Monkey Magic cartoon series in the 1990s, the show was based on this novel, and this is where the story happily ended. If you grew up watching Monkey Magic, then this is a must-see. In real life, when XI'AN returned from India, he asked the emperor to build this pagoda for him. And this was where he spent the rest of his life translating them into Chinese and helping spread Buddhism throughout China. And as you can see, if you're interested in history and culture, XI'AN is definitely the city for you. I'm James Lamb. Thank you for watching Travelogue.